go.
Alright, hi, I'm Anirudh from the Bioma project, and today I'm going to show you what to do with your critters when you get them upon delivery. So the first thing that you're probably going to see is these plants. There's 3 different species of plants. So the first one right here that I'm going to talk about is the columbra, which is a pine-shaped kind of leaf that you're going to see, and probably the most different looking out of all 3 of them. Their main purpose is to have fish hide in them, as well as they're also a source of food for most of the fish. So you're gonna immediately put those in. Next, down here in the tank, you're gonna see those are called bacopas, which have smaller leaves, and these are gonna distinctly classify them differently than the other leaves. So basically, the bacopa, it is supposed to be reminiscent of a sort of plant that we see here in Maryland. That's it basically fills up most lakes. It's equivalent to grass in a field. Basically, when you go to a lake, you're going to see a lot of abundance of this, and it's just really good to have for local wildlife, which you're going to see in a second. And then finally, inside the bag here, I have some stems of this is Ludwigia, which is red, and it has a different color chlorophyll. You're going to see that with the red leaves. That's because they're not typically green. Their leaves are typically red, and they're going to absorb a different kind of light. They're also very important to the ecosystem here in Maryland, so I'm going to show you what you're going to do. So what you're going to do is you're going to basically take all 3 plants, you're going to push them down into the tank, and then with small stones or some other kind of weight, you're basically going to put them on top. So as I push them down, you're going to see the plants are going to stay at the bottom. That's basically what you want them to do, because you don't want any floating plants. What that's going to do is it's going to disrupt the light that's going to be going to all your other critters in here, as well as the Java moss, which is also going to be in here, or Alodia. So I'm going to put these rocks on top. So now they're really well situated on the bottom. So he's just finishing it up there. And yeah, so that's that. Next, you're probably going to get a piece of driftwood. So driftwood is important as a habitat kind of thing for the fish, as well as allowing plants and algae and some other organisms to grow on it. So you're going to get a piece of driftwood like this. Parts of it might break off, but this is a piece of driftwood. I'm just going to drop it down right here. You can place it anywhere in the tank, just as long as it's there. And you're probably going to get a lot of floaters at this point, but that's fine because they'll usually settle down, or they'll get caught in the filter, which is fine as well. Next, you're going to have your moving organisms, which you guys are probably going to be most excited about. In this bag, I have 4 minnows, 6 clams, and 6 trumpet snails. So I'll actually show you each individual thing, not the minnows. So what I did first before shooting the video is basically I took the bag and I let it sit in the water for 15 minutes. Immediately when you get your critters, what you're going to want to do is you're going to put the bag inside the tank and let it just rest there. This is to acclimate the fish to the new changing temperature from where they're originally got from. So once you get them, let them swim around. Do not open the bag, just let it float on top like this, okay? Since I already did it, I'm not going to do it again. So now I'm going to open it. Before I let out the fish, I want to show you each different species. Here we have Asian clams. It's a pretty typical species that we see here in Maryland creeks. And our second one that's not moving around that I can show is trumpet snails. These are also pretty local to the area, and we see them a lot in our waterways. So what you're going to do is just take your bag and just pour them all in there. And now everything's in there, so you guys can see the fish are on the sides here. They're moving around. You have your snails, which are eventually they're probably gonna start moving around the tank. So if you guys have a lid, that will be pretty useful, or any kind of a lid, but you don't want anything that's gonna block out the plant's sunlight. So you don't want any dark color lid. So if you have a transparent lid or a mesh lid, anything would be fine. The snails don't typically climb up all the way, so that won't be a major concern. Next, what you guys are probably gonna get are these capsules full of fertilizer. So you're gonna get 6 capsules. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take 1 capsule of fertilizer upon delivery. You're basically gonna take it, sort of crack it open. Like that, and then you're basically gonna pour all the fertilizer in there. It's fine if the capsule itself gets in there. It's not gonna harm anything. It's a dissolvable one, so it's gonna dissolve eventually. So all the fertilizer is in there, and this is mainly to fertilize the plants and make sure that they have nutrients to survive. So I went over all parts of it.
Attention safety, you're now dismissed to your post. Safeties to your post.
So that's basically the setup of all your critters. Now we're gonna do a 360 view just so you guys know how everything looks like. He's gonna go on all different sides and show you all different angles of the tank. One thing that I did forget to mention is the purpose of the fish and the snails. The snails are mainly in there to eat up algae. So along with all these nutrients that you're putting into the water, you need to have some sort of a control thing that's gonna be able to eat up the algae. So that's what the snails are there for. We have the fish, which are the minnows. They're local to our area, and basically they can. Their main purpose here is to like sort of simulate what a local creek would look like, as well as eat some of the nutrients in here. So we're basically simulating an ecosystem here in Maryland by putting in fish. Also, another thing that I forgot to mention was you're gonna need fish food. So usually they have in our supply tank here, you're gonna have fish food. Immediately once you get your fish, you're gonna wanna put some inside, and you're only gonna wanna put as much as they can eat in 5 minutes. So I'm gonna put a pinch, and this is how you're gonna put it in. You're gonna put in, I'm gonna put my fingers in the water and then release. This is to ensure that it actually sinks and not stays floating on the top. So once the fish food is down there, you're gonna see the fish are gonna come and eat it eventually, and yeah, that's the whole.
Good afternoon. Please listen for the afternoon announcements.
So basically, that is how we set up the Bioma tank, and this is how it's going to look like as soon as you get your deliveries of organisms. So make sure you maintain this tank, make sure you keep checking your temperature, pH every once in a while, and good luck with your critters. Thank you.